There's a joke going around about vegans you might have heard. How do you know if someone is a vegan? They'll tell you again and again and again. But what happens to those vegetarians and vegans who struggle to assert their beliefs or become unable to do so? In October 2019, the All-Party Parliamentary Group on Vegetarianism and Veganism launched an inquiry into respect for religious and philosophical beliefs while eating in care. Around 10% of the UK population may have special dietary requirements because of the beliefs that they hold.
Food is central to identity. As a rabbi and as a Jew, I know this very strongly, and keeping kosher is extremely important in whatever life situation we are, be it in hospital or a care home or a hospice. And I know that similar rules apply to my Muslim and Hindu colleagues and to people of many faiths. In addition to keeping kosher, I'm a vegetarian. I have been for over 30 years and I'm passionate about it, and I have vegan leanings. I understand how closely what we eat and our values are interrelated. I would very much hope that this is honoured in places where we aren't able to choose our food, but others are bringing it for us, and that's what is provided to a person who has been a vegetarian all their life or for many years is consistent with their beliefs and their principles. This is part of upholding a person's dignity, of honouring their personhood, which I know is the objective of those who care so well for others. It's also enshrined in the Human Rights Act, and I would want to see it practiced across the board.
As a cookery writer, I've always taken a pride in my cooking and cooked good meals. When my husband became ill with dementia, I found a home for him. He had to go to a home, and they tried hard to provide decent food. But the food wasn't like the food he knew. It was bland and unattractive, and I was with him every day and found that upsetting. I think it's essential that vegetarian and vegan meals are attractive and flavoursome, as well as nutritious.
In the course of the inquiry, our researchers came across many harrowing stories of people being given foods that went against their wishes and against the wishes of their loved ones.
My father was vegetarian for about 60 years, but as he reached his mid-80s he was diagnosed with dementia and he had to go into a care home. They knew he was vegetarian, but when I visited him one day I found that he'd been given a ham sandwich. I checked his care plan and it clearly stated that he was vegetarian. It was bad enough having to see him with dementia, but I wanted him to maintain his dignity and for his beliefs to be respected. I lived too far away from the home to visit him every day, and I depended on them to care for him properly. I was very concerned that if I kicked up too much fuss, they might treat him unfairly. It was a very distressing time.
I said I was vegetarian in hospital and was given chicken curry.
I've worked in care homes for over 14 years, and a lot of them don't seem to care about people's beliefs, even when they're written into the care plan. In one home we were looking after an 85-year-old woman. She was non-verbal and couldn't move her arms and legs without our help. We gave her the same meals every day: porridge for breakfast and minced meat with mashed potatoes and peas for dinner and for tea. But she often refused the food and became angry with us. New staff were told she was aggressive and a bite risk. Well, one day I looked at her care plan and discovered that she was listed as being vegetarian. I was horrified. Her care plan hadn't been read or was being completely disregarded. When I spoke to the manager, I was told to carry on feeding her meat as she needed it for nutrition. It was very sad, and she passed away without things ever improving.
As a strict vegan, I would hope that my choices would be respected if I were in care, but I have serious doubts.
The All-Party Parliamentary Group on Vegetarianism and Veganism has produced a report that makes 4 recommendations that call for change. Change that will ensure carers understand and respect the dietary needs of those they care for, and not just those with religious and cultural beliefs, but those who hold philosophical beliefs too. To achieve these changes, staff will need to receive training and other resources to ensure they can provide high-quality, nutritious meals for all of us. To find out more and support this campaign, visit vegappg.org.uk/inquiry. Oh, and by the way, did I tell you?